Hello and welcome back to the channel. You might wonder why I'm showing you the front of a lens. It's the front of a very unusual lens. If I turn it round, you'll see why. This fixed lens, it's a fixed focal length, but it does have a nice clicky sort of aperture ring here, which obviously does the right thing to the aperture in the lens itself. All traditional stuff, very much so. But it has a strange rubber gaiter fastened to it. Very odd. You can move it in and out and left and right and up and down and just generally mess around with it. On the other end there is a, if it'll focus on it, it's a Sony E-mount adapter. Now, what is this thing? For those of you that don't know, this thing is called a Lens Baby. Or it's a copy of a Lens Baby, because I can't see the name Lens Baby on it anywhere, but it's in principle the same thing. Now, for those of you that have ever used a tilt and shift lens, you'll know exactly what this is and what it's capable of doing. In fact, it's more flexible than a tilt and shift lens because it's a lot more variable in the amount of movement that it has, to the point it can be ridiculous. I'm going to put this on the camera and then I'm going to video through the camera itself what this does to the image. It's a very specialised thing and it does some really weird stuff, and we'll have a look at it and see if it has any value in our arsenal of lenses and bits of kit. I don't think I paid very much for this. I think I paid about £45 for it, so it wasn't exactly a huge investment, and I thought it might be fun to play with, and I've only used it a couple of times, but as we're all digging around for things to do, I thought, why not do this? So join me in a minute when I've got this mounted on the camera and get ready to feel a little bit queasy, because a video made through this is not going to be easy watching. Anyway, we'll get on with it. Okay, I've got the RX100 pointing at the rear screen on my A7R4, and if you can see there, I've got my hands around the camera. Because of the flexible coupling the lens has to the body, you can't just let go of it because it just dangles down like some sort of limp lettuce. Therefore, moving the lens in and out, you can see the red focus peaking points moving around the screen. I've got it at f2.8. If I open the lens up to f22, then you can see the amount of focus peaking is massively more, because I've got a much greater depth of field because of the narrow focus, f number. But if I go out to 1.8, you see that's an incredibly narrow band of focus that I've got, and as I move the lens around, and I'll show you me doing that in a moment, but if I pull the lens very tight into the body, I can get focus on the edge of the patio. You can see edge of patio coming into focus, and as I move the lens away, then the trees in the distance can come into focus, the focus point. Now if I move the lens left to right, look what happens. The plane of focus, which is this red line of focus peaking, moves around as well. It becomes more vertical the more I tip it sideways. In fact, if I get it completely vertical there and move it across, you can see the plane of focus moving, and obviously the rest of it's all out of focus. So it is a tilt and shift lens, it's infinitely variable from one angle to another. You can really make it suit some bizarre purposes, but I'll take a couple of ordinary still shots. It's nothing interesting in the way of subject matter, but it might help to actually see still images created using this weird lens. So let me just freeze the video there. Well, as you can see, that's a rather sad looking lens when it's not supported by anything. I'm surprised the manufacturers of this piece of equipment didn't create some sort of frame that you could adjust to hold the front of the lens relative, but this is pretty much what I was having to do while I was taking those shots in that video that you've been watching, is move the lens around, alter the aperture manually, and just generally find the focus point that I'm interested in completely manually like this. And yeah, it's a curious little toy. I don't think it'll get used very often, but under the current circumstances it is. Anyway, let's have a look at those pictures and see what they look like on the screen. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please give it the thumbs up, and please also subscribe so that you get notified when I upload new videos.